The Glitched Player. Chapter 1. Congratulations, you're dead. The last thing Ethan Vale saw was the grill of a speeding truck. Well, that's unfortunate. Crash. Darkness swallowed everything. No heavenly choir. No life flashing before his eyes. Just endless black. Then a blue screen appeared before him. Fatal error detected. Player death confirmed. Searching for alternative host world. Ethan blinked. What? Compatible world found. Game. Eternal Realms Online. Transfer initiated. Wait, hold on. Nobody asked me if I wanted. The world exploded into light. Ethan woke up face first in dirt. His head pounded. His body felt lighter. Stronger. Different. He pushed himself up and stared at his hands. Smaller. Younger. Either I'm hallucinating, or puberty just hit the reverse button. A familiar blue screen appeared. Player status. Name. Ethan Vale. Level 1. Class. None. Health. 100 out of 100. Mana. 50 of 50. Skills. None. Title. The Glitched Player. Ethan stared, then sighed. Of course. A game system. Naturally. When reality decides to go insane, it goes all the way. He stood and looked around. Dense forest. Towering trees. No roads. No civilization. Then a howl echoed through the woods. Something large moved between the shadows. Ethan frowned. That sounds unhealthy. A wolf emerged. Except it wasn't a wolf. It was nearly the size of a horse. Red eyes. Black fur. Razor-like teeth. Shadow wolf. Level 8. Ethan looked at the monster. The monster looked at Ethan. Let's be reasonable. The wolf growled. Okay, unreasonable it is. The beast lunged. Ethan immediately grabbed a rock and threw it. The wolf barely noticed. Yeah, figured. The creature slammed into him. Pain exploded across his chest. He rolled across the dirt. His health dropped. 161. Wow. Rude. The wolf charged again. Most people would panic. Ethan wasn't most people. He grabbed a broken branch from the ground. The wolf opened its jaws. Ethan shoved the branch straight into its mouth. The creature gagged. Before it could recover, Ethan jumped on its back. Who's a good murder puppy? The wolf thrashed violently. Ethan wrapped an arm around its neck, then jammed his thumbs into its eyes. The monster screamed. Blood sprayed everywhere. The beast collapsed. A moment later. Level up. Level 2 reached. Level 3 reached. Skill acquired. Dirty fighting. Ethan climbed off the corpse, covered in blood, breathing heavily. That actually worked. Then another notification appeared. Unique title unlocked. The rules are suggestions. Effect. Plus 20% experience gain. NPCs find you unpredictable. Ethan laughed. For the first time since waking up. Finally, a title that understands me. Then the forest went silent. Too silent. A massive shadow covered him. Slowly, Ethan looked up. A dragon was staring directly at him. Level. 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 Every stat was hidden. The creature was so powerful the system couldn't even display its information. The dragon lowered its enormous head. Ethan stared back. The third wolf collided with both. Chaos erupted. Most people fought fairly. Ethan had no interest in fairness. He threw dirt into eyes. Used corpses as weapons. Pushed monsters into each other. Anything worked. Anything was allowed. As far as Ethan was concerned, rules only existed for people losing. Minutes passed. Bodies piled up. His level rose rapidly. Level 4. Level 5. Level 6. New skills acquired. Minor regeneration. Danger sense. Improvised weapon mastery. Now we're talking. A giant spider descended from above. Ethan's danger sense screamed. Without hesitation, he rolled aside. The spider landed where he'd been standing. Its fangs sank into the ground. Poison hissed from its mouth. Ethan immediately grabbed a rock and smashed one of its eyes. The creature shrieked. Then he ripped off one of its legs and used it as a spear. The spider died seconds later. Level 7. Honestly, this game balance is terrible. A massive horned boar charged from the forest. Level 15. The strongest enemy yet. Its tusks could probably split him in half. Most people would run. Ethan ran directly toward it. Bad idea. Terrible idea. Let's do it. At the last second he jumped. The boar's tusks missed him by inches. He landed on its back, grabbed a tusk, and twisted with everything he had. Crack. The boar screamed. The broken tusk pierced its own eye. The monster crashed through several trees before finally collapsing. Level up. Level 8. Level 9. Level 10. Title acquired. Monster Menace. Monsters instinctively view you as a threat. Good. The feeling is mutual. Then the system suddenly froze. Every notification vanished. The forest became silent. Dangerously silent. A new message appeared. One unlike anything before. World event detected. Anomaly confirmed. The glitched player has been found. Ethan frowned. Found by who? Then something answered. A voice. Not from the forest. Not from the sky. From inside the system itself. A voice cold enough to freeze blood. Player Ethan Vale. We finally located you. For the first time since arriving in this world. Ethan stopped smiling. Well, that doesn't sound good. The forest was silent. Not normal silence. Not the peaceful kind. This silence felt wrong. As if the entire world had paused. The wind stopped. The leaves stopped moving. Even the insects vanished. Ethan slowly looked around. Okay, that's creepy. The cold voice echoed through his mind once more. Player Ethan Vale. Identification confirmed. Anomaly status verified. Ethan rubbed his temples. Could you stop sounding like a malfunctioning microwave? The voice ignored him. You should not exist. Funny. My teachers used to say the same thing. No response. Just another notification. Neither moved. Finally he sighed. Look, I just got here. Can we postpone whatever boss fight this is until tomorrow? The dragon opened its mouth. A glowing sphere of fire began forming. Ethan groaned. Of course not. The sphere of fire inside the dragon's mouth grew larger. Ethan stared at it. The dragon stared at Ethan. Neither looked particularly impressed. Just so we're clear, Ethan said, I've been alive in this world for about 10 minutes. The dragon's eyes narrowed. That's not enough time to start making enemies. The fire vanished. Ethan blinked. Huh. The dragon lowered its massive head until its golden eye was level with him. Then something impossible happened. The creature spoke. Interesting. Its voice shook the entire forest. Trees trembled. Birds fled. Ethan covered his ears. Great. The giant flying lizard talks. I always hated when bosses had dialogue. The dragon ignored him. You are not from this world. Very observant. You smell of death. That's because I died. The dragon froze. For the first time, it seemed surprised. You remember? Of course I remember. Ethan crossed his arms. Truck. Pain. Death. One-star customer experience. The dragon stared for several seconds. Then a deep rumbling sound emerged. It took Ethan a moment to realize the dragon was laughing. The earth shook beneath its amusement. Human, the dragon said. You are either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Both. Usually at the same time. The dragon laughed again. A notification appeared. Hidden quest triggered. The dragon's interest. Reward, unknown. Failure, unknown. Difficulty, unknown. Unknown. Ethan frowned. That's suspicious. The dragon suddenly spread its wings. The sky darkened. An overwhelming pressure descended upon the forest. Every creature nearby fled in terror. Even Ethan struggled to breathe. Then dozens of red markers appeared in his vision. Warning. Hostile entities detected. Total enemies, 47. Ethan looked around. The trees were moving. No. Something was moving between them. Monsters. Lots of them. Wolves. Spiders. Horned boars. Creatures he couldn't even identify. All running toward the dragon. And toward him. Well. Ethan sighed. That's probably bad. The dragon's eye glimmered. Survive. What? Survive 1 hour. If you live? The dragon smiled. I shall give you a gift. Before Ethan could complain, the dragon launched itself into the sky. The shockwave nearly knocked him unconscious. Then he was alone, surrounded by 47 monsters. Ethan slowly looked around. Every creature was staring at him. Waiting. Hungry. Okay. He cracked his neck. Let's commit several crimes against wildlife. The monsters charged. The first wolf died instantly. Ethan grabbed a sharpened branch and drove it through its throat. A second wolf jumped. He used the corpse as a shield. Blood exploded everywhere. Warning. Unauthorized entity connected. Source, System Administrator. Access level, absolute. Ethan frowned. Administrator? The title sounded dangerous. Then a figure appeared. Not from the trees. Not from the sky. It simply appeared. One moment nothing was there. The next, a young woman stood 20 meters away. White hair. Golden eyes. Black military-style uniform. Her face showed no emotion. Above her head floated a title. System Administrator. Level. Error. Error. Ethan blinked. That's usually not a good sign. The woman stared at him. So you are the anomaly. And you're the customer support representative? For several seconds, she said nothing. Then, what is wrong with you? Ethan grinned. That list is very long. The administrator narrowed her eyes. You were not meant to survive. Rude. You died in your original world. Accurate. Your soul should have been processed. That sounds suspiciously evil. It is standard procedure. Even worse. For the first time, irritation appeared on her face. Ethan noticed something. The woman wasn't breathing. Not once. Not even a little. She looked human. But she wasn't. Not really. The realization made his smile fade. The administrator noticed. Finally, a serious expression. Don't get excited. Ethan pointed at her. You just triggered my nightmare fuel detector. The woman's eyes glowed. Suddenly dozens of screens appeared around them. Thousands of names. Thousands of worlds. Thousands of players. Every screen showed a different reality. Some were medieval kingdoms. Others were futuristic cities. Some contained monsters capable of destroying planets. Ethan stared. Even he couldn't think of a joke. The scale was absurd. The administrator raised a hand. The screens disappeared. These worlds exist because the system maintains them. The system governs life, death, progress, order. Ethan crossed his arms. And you broke it. A pause. Then Ethan pointed at himself. Me? Yes. I got hit by a truck. Correct. I didn't exactly plan that. Your intentions are irrelevant. The administrator took a step forward. The moment you died, something impossible occurred. What? For the first time, uncertainty appeared in her eyes. Your soul rejected deletion. Ethan blinked. My soul did what? It refused. Ethan finally shrugged. Sounds like me. The administrator looked offended by the answer. A new notification appeared. Unique trait discovered. Indomitable will. Rank unknown. Description. Your existence rejects external authority. Effects cannot be fully measured. The administrator stared at the screen. Then at Ethan. Then back at the screen. This trait should not exist. Neither should I. Correct. Glad we're making progress. Suddenly the ground trembled. A massive roar echoed across the forest. The dragon had returned. The enormous creature descended from the clouds like a living mountain. Trees shattered beneath the pressure. The administrator turned toward it. For the first time, she looked concerned. The dragon landed between Ethan and the administrator. Golden eyes burning. Wings spread wide. The beast looked ready for war. Administrator. The dragon's voice shook the world. The woman replied coldly. Ancient One. Ethan looked between them. Do you two know each other? Neither answered. Wow. The tension is incredible. The dragon ignored him. You cannot take him. The administrator's gaze hardened. He is a threat to reality. He is a child. He is an anomaly. He is under my protection. The forest fell silent. Ethan raised a hand. Quick question. Both beings looked at him. Has anyone actually asked me what I want? Neither answered. Thought so. The administrator lifted her hand. A spear of pure light formed above her palm. The dragon opened its jaws. Golden flames gathered inside its mouth. The sky darkened. The ground cracked. Ethan's danger sense nearly exploded. Every instinct screamed. Run. Now. Unfortunately, running wasn't an option, because the system suddenly displayed another message. Emergency quest. Choose your fate. Option 1. Side with the administrator. Reward, unknown. Risk, extreme. Option 2. Side with the dragon. Reward, unknown. Risk, extreme. Option 3. Refuse both. Reward. Risk, catastrophic. Ethan stared at the screen, then at the two world-shaking beings preparing to fight, then back at the screen. A grin slowly spread across his face. The kind of grin that usually led to disasters. Well, the administrator immediately looked suspicious. The dragon groaned. Somehow it already knew. Ethan pointed at option 3. Let's see what catastrophic means. The moment he selected it, the entire system shattered. Cracks spread across reality itself. And something ancient began to wake up. Far beneath the world. Something even the administrator feared. Something the dragon had spent thousands of years guarding. A voice echoed from the darkness. At last, I am free. The moment the system cracked, the sky shattered like glass. Not metaphorically, actually shattered. Blue fragments of reality rained from the heavens. The administrator's expression finally broke. For the first time, she looked afraid. Impossible. The dragon's massive body tensed. No. The ground split open. A black abyss appeared beneath the forest. From that darkness emerged a colossal eye, an eye larger than a mountain. It stared directly at Ethan. Every living thing in the world froze. Every monster, every animal, every human, even the wind stopped. Then the voice returned. The one who broke the cage. Interesting. Ethan looked up at the giant eye. You're surprisingly dramatic. The eye blinked. The administrator looked horrified. The dragon actually laughed. The ancient entity remained silent for several seconds. Then, I like him. Ethan sighed. Please don't. The creature slowly rose from the abyss. Its body wasn't made of flesh. It was made of darkness itself, as though a piece of the universe had taken shape. The administrator immediately attacked. Thousands of spears of light filled the sky. The ancient being didn't even move. The attacks vanished before reaching it. Erased, as if they had never existed. The administrator stumbled backward. How? The creature's answer was simple. I existed before the system. The dragon lowered its head. Ancient void. The being turned toward the dragon. Old friend. Old friend. The words shocked Ethan. You know this thing? The dragon sighed. Thousands of years ago, the system imprisoned it. Why? The dragon hesitated. The void answered instead. Because I wanted freedom. The administrator clenched her fists. You wanted chaos. The void laughed. A laugh so deep it shook continents. Freedom and chaos often look identical to those who crave control. Ethan remained silent, listening, observing. For the first time since arriving in this world, he wasn't making jokes. Because he realized something. The void wasn't evil. The administrator wasn't evil. The dragon wasn't evil. They simply wanted different things. And now they expected him to choose. The problem? Ethan hated being told what to do. By anyone. The void extended a massive hand. Join me. The administrator stepped forward. Do not listen. The dragon remained silent. Waiting. Ethan looked at all three, then laughed. A genuine laugh. You people still don't get it. What? Asked the administrator. Ethan pointed at himself. I don't follow kings. He pointed at the administrator. I don't follow systems. He pointed at the void. And I definitely don't follow ancient nightmare monsters. The void tilted its head, amused. So what will you do? Ethan smiled. The same thing I've been doing since I got here. Whatever I want. At that moment, the trait, indomitable will, reached 100%. The world exploded with light. Every screen in existence appeared. Every player. Every world. Every timeline. The system itself trembled. A final message appeared. Hidden condition achieved. The glitched player has chosen himself. Evolution available. Accept? Yes/yes. Ethan laughed. That's my kind of menu. He pressed yes. The transformation began. Not into a god. Not into a monster. Not into an administrator. Something else. Something unique. For the first time, the system wasn't changing Ethan. Ethan was changing the system. Across countless worlds, players watched in shock. The rules that governed existence began to shift. Forced quests disappeared. Unfair punishments vanished. Predetermined destinies crumbled. People could finally choose their own paths. The administrator watched silently. The void watched silently. The dragon watched silently. All of them realized the same thing. The boy who shouldn't have existed had done the impossible. He had rewritten reality. The transformation ended. Ethan stood where he always had. Still human. Still sarcastic. Still annoying. The administrator stared. That's it. Ethan looked at himself. Honestly, I expected glowing eyes. The dragon laughed loudly. The void laughed even louder. Even the administrator almost smiled. Almost. The void slowly began to fade. Its prison was gone. Its purpose was gone. It no longer needed to remain. Thank you, glitch player. Ethan shrugged. You're welcome, giant eyeball. The void disappeared. Peacefully. For the first time in eternity. The administrator approached. You changed everything. Good. The system will never be the same. Also good. She stared at him. Then bowed. The being that governed countless worlds bowed to a teenage boy. Thank you. Ethan nearly fell over. Okay, that's weird. The dragon spread its wings. What will you do now? Ethan looked at the horizon. Villages. Kingdoms. Dungeons. Mysteries. Entire continents he had never seen. A whole world waiting. He smiled. I'll explore. Cause trouble. Probably save a few people. Probably rob a few villains. The dragon nodded. A worthy goal. Years passed. Stories spread across the world. Stories of a wandering adventurer. A young man who appeared wherever trouble existed. A man who mocked kings, defeated monsters, ignored prophecies, and somehow always won. Some called him a hero. Others called him a menace. Ethan preferred menace. Decades later, an old dragon sat atop a mountain. Beside it stood a familiar man, still smiling, still sarcastic, still free. The dragon spoke. Do you regret anything? Ethan thought for a moment, then shook his head. I died once. I got a second chance. I lived exactly how I wanted. What could be better than that? The dragon smiled. A rare sight. Nothing. They watched the sunset together. The world was peaceful. The system was stable. The people were free. And for the first time, there were no quests left to complete. No final bosses. No hidden enemies. No destiny waiting around the corner. Just life. As the sun disappeared beyond the horizon, one final notification appeared before Ethan. Final achievement unlocked. The last player. Description. You beat the game by refusing to play by its rules. Reward. A life worth living. Ethan laughed. Best reward yet. The notification faded, never to return. And so the story of the glitched player came to an end. Not with a battle, not with a sacrifice, but with freedom. The one thing Ethan had wanted from the very beginning. The end.